Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Lombardo, and I am your child's sixth grade math teacher. I just wanted to say hello and introduce myself, and also apologize for not being there at curriculum night in person. I did have prior engagement to attend, but I'm hoping by recording this video and sending this to you, it'll give you a good idea of what we're going to be taking care of in sixth grade math this year. So I will go ahead and get on to the next slide, just do a little introduction of myself. I do have a bachelor's degree in elementary education. My major is in mathematics, and then my minor is in language arts. I do have a master's degree in educational leadership. Got that about 2 or 3 years ago. I attended Oakland University and Fair State University for my undergrad, and then graduated from Saginaw Valley State for my master's degree. Moving on here, teaching experience is my 7th year in the Anchor-based school district. I started off as a math tutor at Great Oaks Elementary, and then got hired in as a fourth grade teacher there. Taught fourth grade for just 1 year, and then made the jump over to Middle School North. This is the place that I wanted to be when I came to the district, at the middle school level. And this is my 6th year here as the sixth grade math teacher at North. I love this school. Your children are blessed to be in this school. It's full of wonderful teachers and wonderful people. You're going to hear Mr. Titi say this a lot. It's the best school in the state, best middle school in the state, and everyone believes that here. And hopefully, after being a part of this, you can start to agree with that as well. So, just to tell you what we're going to be covering for math this year. There's a wide variety of things, but I grouped them up as best as I can into these 5 categories. So we start off with ratios, and then make our way into the algebra phase. That word always terrifies students, but it's really not that bad once we get going. So we'll make sure we take care of them when we get there. We do a little bit with integers, positive and negative numbers. Geometry, we focus on area, perimeter, surface area, things like that, volume. And then we get into statistics, statistical displays, graphing, things like that. So a lot of stuff happening here in sixth grade. So students have a lot of work to do, which is nice. So our daily routine, is like this, just so you guys can get an idea of what your child will be doing when they walk into my room every day. I always have a daily warm up on the board. So students will walk in, copy down the agenda, and then be sure to get going on those daily warm-ups. Those warm-ups will be on questions or on topics that we had learned the night prior, or on topics that we're going to learn that day. I'll kind of see what kind of knowledge, prior knowledge they had to the topic that we're learning today. During that time, I'll walk around and check in homework, ensure that it's done, completed, and has work to go along with their answers. We'll briefly review those daily warm-up problems. And then we go over homework from the day prior and grade it. I'm a big believer in not penalizing for confusion. If there was confusion on the homework, it's normally my fault. There was a disconnect, or some kind of disconnect in the communication or strategy, or something like that. So I want to be sure to clear up any confusion before I actually go ahead and grade the assignment. So we'll do some problems together on the board, clear up some questions, and students will be allowed to edit or, make adjustments, make fixes to their work before we actually grade it. After grades are done, we will do a new lesson. I will instruct a new lesson, keep that to anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. I try to get it done as quickly as possible so that students have as much time to do their homework in class as possible. I am a big believer, again, in students being able to do their work in class. The reason for that is because I am in class. I'm not at the kitchen table with them while they do their work. I know math is very, very different than when everyone was in school. It's a lot different, from when I was in school as well. So I want to be there. I want to be with them as much as possible as they're going through these practice assignments or these practice worksheets, whatever it is. To answer questions and clear up confusion. So if you're not seeing a lot of math homework come home, that can be pretty normal. Students are, encouraged to use their time wisely and do their homework in class. Now, if they get finished, they don't bring anything home, that's expected. It's normal sometimes. But if students aren't using their time wisely, you're going to see a lot of homework come home. So I really encourage students to use their time wisely in class. I have at the bottom of the screen here, focus for this school year, specifically in my class, is going to be student-driven learning. We are starting or rolling out, in the next few years here, something called competency-based education. That is really focused on students taking ownership of their learning. And I'm going to be doing a lot of that in our classes this year. So hopefully you can start to see that, your children are becoming more responsible and taking care of their own learning and taking initiative. According to homework and what you can see for homework in my class is that they're going to have it almost every day. Give students time to work on it in class, just like I had spoke about a second ago. I have here bolded the third bullet point: no work is equal to a late assignment. If I'm getting work turned in that has no, work attached to it, no explanation, no strategy shown, it's going to be late. I'm a big believer, and I advocate hard for this. The process that is used to get to the answer is just as important, if not more important, than the answer itself. The reason I say this is because if your child is doing work and they're getting something wrong, and they're showing me no work, I don't know how they're coming up with that answer, and I can't help them fix it. If your child is showing work and they're making a mistake, I can look at that physically, that work that they give me physically, and say, hey, here's the step where you're making a mistake. Here's how we can fix it. So I require work on almost everything. Will there be assignments where they don't need to show work? Absolutely. But for a majority of the time, they will need to show me work and provide that when they turn in their homework. Fourth bullet point there, late policy is 10% off of their grade every day that it's not turned in. So that's a school policy, not even my policy. That's a middle school North policy. Every day that it's late, we take off 10%. So if the student turns in their work one day late, they get 10% off. 2 days late is 20, 3 days late is 40, 4 is 40, and then 5 is 50%. After the fifth day, we are not allowed to accept the homework. It is a 0 in the grade book. Okay. So again, that is all a school rule that can be looked at in the student handbook in the front of the agenda. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. If a student was absent, we do have an absent policy. The due date just gets pushed back however many days they were absent. If a student was out for 2 days, they get 2 additional days beyond the due date to get that absent work turned in. Math supplies for this year. We have given students a homework folder that was provided from the school. They're expected to keep their homework only in that folder. You do need a yellow folder separate from that homework folder to keep just math material in. A yellow spiral notebook. We will be doing our daily warm-up problems and doing any extra work inside of that notebook. A red checking pen does not have to be red. As long as it's a pen, I'm good. Students will grade their own work, grade partners' work. So we need a checking pen for that. A pencil is the number one thing that students should come to class with every single day. So please make sure, they have a couple pencils to bring to class. A highlighter does not matter what color. We will be using that to highlight important information during notes. And then if you have bought a 1.5 or 2-inch binder, that is wonderful. That'll be used for organization tools, and we'll get students set up with that within the next few weeks here. Schoology. So hopefully Schoology isn't a new term or a new thing for you. We have been using it in the district at Anchor Bay for the last few years now. I will post all of my daily plans. I will post completed note copies. I will post homework assignments and worksheets on my daily school plans. Students can message me on Schoology and ask me questions. And if you know that students are going to be late or your students are going to be absent, from school, they can always check what we did in school that day on our daily Schoology folders or in the Schoology folders. and they have access to everything that the students who are present in class would have as well. So we encourage students to use Schoology as a resource, especially if they know they're going to be gone from school. So that's about it. That's all I have. Again, I really just want to apologize for not being there and meeting you in person. Um, but I do want to throw it out there for anyone that has questions about anything this year, whatever it may be. Please email me. I will do my very best to respond as quickly as possible to any questions or concerns that you have, any confusion that you have. I can clear that up as well. But I am really looking forward to a great school year. I hope you all are as well. We're very excited here at Middle School North for another great year. Again, I appreciate you all. If there are any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out, and I will do whatever I can to answer that for you. Thank you, and I appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon.